Hello students, my name is Payal Rawat. Today I am going to teach you the subject utilization of electrical energy. In this particular subjects we have 5 units. Among them today we are going to learn our first unit, illuminations. So in illuminations there are 3 major outcomes. Define various illumination terminology in its units. Second one, explain the laws of illumination and its significance. Third one, describe the working and the applications of the various lamps and fittings they are in the use. Right? From there, today we are going to learn first one, define a various illuminations terminology and its unit. So as we know that almost all human activities depends on the light. Sun is a prime natural source of light, but the artificial lighting plays an important main role in our daily life. So these artificial lights are produced by mechanical lamps and electrical lamps. But due to poor performance, the mechanical lights are totally replaced by the electrical lights. So the electrical lightnings are mainly used for the decorative purpose, advertising, traffic control, medical field and the street lighting, etc. So just we going to see this difference between the light and the illumination. So what is light and the illuminations? So from the figure we can see that this is the candle. So this candle with light gives a light. So light is the radiant energy produced by the source of light. So here is the light, source of light is a candle. And second figures we can see that this is the artificial source, so light source, here is the lamp. So light is the radiant energy produced by the source of light, while the illumination is the light available on the working plane or the surface. So here we can see the working space. So this is a area which is covered by this particular lamp. So illumination is the light available on the working plane, or we can say the surface. So illumination makes the object colorful and the discern by the different colors and the brightness. So to study this illumination, it is necessary to know the terms and the definitions related to it. So we go ahead. So terms used for the illuminations, first one is light. So when the atom is excited, any atom is excited by any reasons, yeah, you can say you give the energy to that particular atom. So the electrons which is going outside, so it remains excited state for a few seconds. Just for example, 10 raised to 8 meter seconds. When it goes back in the higher stage, then it return back. So on the returning to its normal state, so that particular energy which is released in the form of radiations of certain definite wavelength. So light is the form of this radiant energy. So what is light? So light is the form of this radiated energy released from the atoms and also known as the ether waves. So from a hot body causing a visual sensation upon the human eye, it is denoted by Q and its unit is Lambda or hour. So we just give the what is introduction of waves. So wave is a disturbance that transfer energy from one place to the another. It does not transfer matter during the energy transfer. Means this particular figure we can say that, so the energy which is transformed from this axis, yeah, you can say x-axis, while the matter which is moving in this axis, y-axis. So this is called a waves. There are two types of mainly waves, mechanical as well as electromagnetic waves. So in this particular chapter we are discussing about the electromagnetic waves. So amplitude is the maximum displacement from the neutral positions. From this wave we can say this is the maximum length, means maximum displacement from the neutral position. So this is our neutral positions. From this neutral positions, it is the maximum amplitude. So this is called the amplitude. Now second one is the period. What is period? So these all are the terminology related to the waves. Now period. So the period of the wave is the time for a particle on a medium to make one complete vibration or one cycle. So we take one another color, then I will explain you what is a period. So this a yellow color which gives a one complete cycle time. So the period of the wave is the time for particular on a medium to make one complete vibration cycle. As the period is the time, hence is measured in the unit of time such as second or minutes. So it is denoted by capital T. So period is here. So 0, it goes to maximum, then it goes 0, then it goes negative maximum, then it goes 0. So this is one complete cycle. Is called T. Is called T. So this is a T. Now second one is a wavelength. So the distance between the identical points in the adjacent cycle of the crest of the wave means the maximum amplitude of the wave is called wavelength. Here we can see the wavelength. This is the wavelength. So this is two maximum points nearby. So difference between this, we take another color. So difference, this is a distance. This is a distance. Distance between two identical points in the adjacent cycle of crest of the wave is called the wavelength. So it is also measured in meters, denoted by lambda. This is a Greek word lambda. So which is denoted by lambda. Period is denoted by capital T. Now frequency. This is another criteria related to the waves. So frequency of the wave is the number of waves passing a point in a certain time. Yeah, you can say a second. So the unit of frequency is in hertz. Frequency is in hertz, which is equal to one wave per second. Okay, which is denoted by F. Now the relation between the frequency, wavelength and the velocity. As we know, the speed of the light is defined as the speed with which the light photons travel in the vacuum. So the velocity of all the light, which is in the term of 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, as we have already teach in the physics. So the relation between the velocity v, frequency and the wavelength lambda, which is in this equations. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay. So this is the equations that we have to derive. So lambda, equation number, so lambda is the wavelength. So we can say this is equation number 1. So lambda is equal to what? Velocity upon the frequency. So this is the relation between the frequency and the wavelength with respect to velocity. Here you can say speed. Now we know that frequency is equal to 1 by t. And the relation between this velocity, frequency and lambda that we have seen that equations, the unit of wavelength which is in the terms of micron, here you can say angstrom. So 1 angstrom is equal to 10 into 10 raised to 10 minus 10 meters. So remember that values also. Yeah, that I have said earlier, electromagnetic waves, the light which is illuminated radiant energy, that waves is electromagnetic waves. So this is the example of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic means there is a electric and the magnetic field. So here we can see this is a electric field in y-axis and this is a magnetic field, and resultant energy which is moving in the y-axis, that is denoted by C. So these waves are disturbance that does not need any object medium for propagations and can easily travel through the vacuum. So they are produced due to various magnetic and electric fields. So the periodic change that takes place in the magnetic electric fields, therefore this is known as electromagnetic waves. So this is an example of electromagnetic radiations. Here the long wavelength and the short wavelengths. How we can differentiate these two? Nearby this two crest amplitude, the distance between these two crest amplitude. So here is the more distance between these two is more with respect to this. So the wavelength of this waveform, we can say that this is more than the last one. So the frequency of the second one is higher than the upper one. So we can say that the frequency and the wavelength relation are inversely proportional. When the long wavelength, the frequency is low, and the short wavelength, that time frequency is high. So that electromagnetic waves, and this is a electromagnetic spectrum. So this ultraviolet light, X-rays wavelength shorter than the violet light. So here we can see this spectrum is total. This is our visible light, which we are going to use in particular this subject, means this light illuminations. So here gamma rays, X-rays, microwave, radio waves. So this is a electromagnetic spectrum. So in this particular range, we are just going to use this like this much wavelength of light. Almost zero point 0.4 to 0.75 micron are visible by human eyes. You cannot see gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves, radio waves. So all the waves are not visible, or in other words, all the waves are not giving lights. We can say all the rays, just for example, gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves, radio, they are not giving, they are not generate a light. Only this range of this wavelength from 0.4 to 0.75 micron, which gives visible light for the human eyes. So the full range of wavelengths for light is called the electromagnetic spectrum. So this is a electromagnetic spectrum. Now we focusing only this 0.4 to 0.74 visible light spectrum. So a triangular prism, a beam of white light pass through it. So we can say that the red one, all the colors according to that wavelength, they are differentiated. So light or visible light is electromagnetic radiations within the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that can be perceived by the human eyes. So visible light is usually defined as the having a wavelength in the range of 400 to 700 nanometers. Now, terms used in illuminations. Light, again, light is also known as the radiant energy from a hot body causing a visual sensations upon the human eye. It is denoted by Q, and the unit is lumen hour. So from this figure, we can say this is a source of light. This is a source of light. This is human eye. And here the surface. Here the surface. So always we remember three things. We require three things. First, source of light. Second, this is the surface. Yeah, you can say working plane. And third one, human eye. So light is also known as the radiant energy that we have explained earlier. Radiant energy. So radiant energy from a hot body means this is the body source causing a visual sensations, as we know, 0.4 to 0.74 visual light sensations upon the human eye. So it is denoted by Q. So light, which is denoted by capital Q, and its unit is lumen into hour. Second one, luminous flux. So it is defined as the energy in the form of light waves radiated per second from luminous body. Yeah, you can say source of light in the form of light waves. So it is measured in lumen. It is denoted by phi or capital F. Third one, luminous efficiency or radiant efficiency. It is defined as the output lumen per watt of the power consumed by the source of light. It is measured in lumen per voltage. Now we move to the solid angle and the plane angle. This is the figure of solid angle. So in middle one, put two figure together. So first one, this one is plane angle, another is the solid angle. So plane angle, which is denoted by theta and the unit is radian, while the solid angle, which is denoted by omega. Omega has a two signs. You can say small w or you can say omega. So the angle suspended by the particular partially surface area of a sphere. So we consider as a sphere, not a circle. Here we, in plane angle, we just consider a circle. We just consider a circle in this way. We just consider a circle. From the circle, this is the point. So here I can say angle, any angle. So this is my theta. Okay, so this is the representations of plane angle. But in solid angle, we just give one name, that is the sphere. Yeah, just for example, then this shape, it looks like a cone, ice cream cone. Ice cream cone. Yeah, tip of pen. So sphere at its center is called solid angle. So it is measured, which is measured in steradian. It is measured in steradian and equal to the ratio of area of surface. So here in this figure, this is figure number 1. This is the sphere. I am taking one portion of this. So this is one portion. Okay. So this is the center. From center, the area of this surface, this particular area of this cone, right? So the distance between this point to this maximum here is r, which is denoted by r. The angle, which is omega, and the cross sectional, this is total cross sectional area. Yeah, you can see over here also this figure from point source O. So you correlate these two things. So this is a small change in the, so that's why I am putting dA, small change in the angle d omega. So what is steradian? A by r square. So the whole sphere has a 4 pi steradian, a solid angle. So a circle pi r square, as we know. So area A sphere 4 pi r square. So in limit of small angle theta, solid angle omega is 4 pi this. You put into that this value in this r square. So here both are cancelled. Pi pi. So here is the pi. 4 pi both are cancelled each other. So here I am getting pi r square divided by capital R square into SR. So pi theta square SR. So omega. So that is the value of, and what is this? This. So particularly omega is A by R square. So the angle subtended by the partial surface area of a sphere as its center is called the solid angle. Now another word is another definition, luminous intensity. So luminous intensity is defined as a point light source when gives luminous flux per unit solid angle, not plane angle, solid angle, in one direction is known as luminous intensity, which is denoted by capital I. So here we can see this is a source of light source. Here is a candle. This is my working space, this green one. So luminance, so which is denoted by lux. This is luminance, this is I. So what is intensity now? Intensity is defined as the point light source when gives the luminous flux per unit solid angle in one direction. So this is luminous flux. So you can see over here. So we consider this is sphere. This this is sphere, this is cross-sectional area A. As I explained you earlier, so this angle which is omega, so this is omega. Okay, so dF by this, dF means a small change in the flux with respect to small change in the solid angle. Another definition is lumen. So it is the unit of flux and it is defined as the amount of luminous flux given out in a space represented by 1 unit of solid angle by source having an intensity of 1 candle power in all the directions. You can see in the all directions, not a single one, all the directions. So lumen is candle power into the solid angle. Now what is candle power now? So candle power, it is the light radiated capacity of a source in given direction. So it is defined as the number of lumens given out by the source in a unit solid angle in a given direction. It is denoted by the Cp. So here the 3 rays are coming out. So we can say this is 3 Cp. So candle power is equal to lumens per omega. So now we come to the point finally, illuminations. When the light falls on a surface, it is illuminated. So the illumination is defined as the luminous flux received per unit area. So here is the example. We can say that illumination per square area. So finally illumination is equal to what? Flux on area. So lumens, flux which is denoted by lumens, its unit is lumen, area. So what is lumen? As we say earlier, Cp into omega. So Cp into omega, solid angle by area. Mean hemispherical candle power. It is the mean of candle power in all the directions within the hemisphere, either above the horizontal plane or the below horizontal plane. Now foot candle, it is the unit of illumination and may be defined as the illumination of inside of sphere or radius of 1 foot at the center of which there is a source of 1 candle power. Now lux, it is the meter candle and it's defined as the illuminations of the inside of the sphere of the radius 1 meter at the center of which there is a source of 1 Cp. We can see from the figure also. Now next, utilization factor. It is the total light flux radiated out of the source by the source is not utilized on the working plane, and the utilization factor which is denoted by UF. So the total lumen utilized on the working planes divided by total lumen radiated by the source. Yeah, you can say lamp. So there are some conditions. The area to be illuminated, height at which the lamps are fitted. Third one, the color of surrounding wall, ceiling fitting, etc. The type of lighting, which kind of lighting schemes are used, direct or indirect. Depreciation factor, when the lamps are covered with the dust, dirt or smoke, they do not radiate out some amount of flux as when they do not, they do at the fitting of the time. Means when the dust and all the particles are on the lamp, so they are not giving illuminations properly. Similarly, after some time, the walls and surroundings at which lamps are fitted are covered with the dirt and dust. So they do not reflect the same amount of light as compared with the initial condition. So depreciation factor takes into account all such losses of the flux. So dA, which is denoted by capital DF. So illuminations under normal working conditions divided by illumination when everything is clean. Now space height ratio. Here we take two lamps together. This is lamp 1, this is lamp 2. So the distance between these two lamps, which is denoted by S, and this is a surface area. Here you can say working plane to the lamp. So this is the height of lamp from the working place. So it is defined as the ratio of horizontal distance between the lamps and the mounting height of the lamp as space height ratio. So we can say S by H. So value it should be a 1 to 2, between 1 to 2. So waste light factor, here again two lamps are together. So this is the portion where the overlapping is occur. So the surface when illuminated by number of lamps, there is certain amount of wastage. So this is the wastage due to overlapping of the light waves. So its values are rectangular and irregular areas are 1.2 to 1.5 respectively. Another is the absorption factor. It is the ratio of lumens available on the working surface after absorptions to the lumens out by the lamps. Value is 0.5 to 2. Reflection factor, it is the ratio between reflected light and the incident light. Lamp factor, it is the ratio of output luminous flux given by any lamp to the electrical energy required to produce by it. So reflected light and incident light means the light, here is the light source. So the ratio of reflected light, so this is my reflected light. So this is my incident light. So because this is my source and this is my reflected light. So ratio between reflected light to the incident light. These all are the units. It is in MKS. So MKS unit of luminance or degree of illuminations at the surface. And it is defined as the illumination of 1 candle power per square meter. Then another is still, so it is bigger than this. So it is bigger MKS unit of luminance and equal to illuminations of 1 candle power per square centimeter. Now next is glare. So it is defined as the brightness within the field of vision of such a character as to cause any kind of discomfort with the vision. It is called glare. Now this is the instrument by which we can measure the illuminations, that is called lux meter. So this is lux meter. So one probe which is connected with this. So this is the angle between these two. When we go nearer to the lamp, this lux meter shows the more intensity. When we go far away from the lamp, so the distance is increased, it shows a illumination less light. So for measurement of illuminations, various equipments are used. Among them, lux meter is the easier and the simplest portable equipment. It gives direct reading of the illuminations. It gives direct illuminations. Thank you so much.